What's up, everybody? If you want to start generating hundreds of leads every single month like my team using Google pay-per-click ads, but you're not sure where to get started, this video is absolutely for you. By the end of this video, you're going to understand not only how to set up your first Google pay-per-click ad, but also how to get your first $150 in ad spend totally free. So keep watching. All right, everyone, so the very first thing you're going to want to do is go into Google and actually search for Google $150 ad credit. That's going to populate a voucher that you can use for your first $150 in ads. This is available, to my knowledge, in Canada and the US. I will put those links down in the description just to make it easier for you. But you can click on this, whether you're in Canada or the US, you can throw in your email and they will actually send you a promo code for $150 that they will match for the first $150 that you spend. So basically, when you spend $150, you'll get $150 for free. So you're going to want to make sure you use that when you set up your account. Okay, now next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to ads.google.com, as you can see here, and you're going to want to set up your ad account. That's when you're going to put in your voucher and set up your account, and then we're going to start the process of creating Google ads for you. Now, I'm just going to walk you through step by step here the first few steps in actually creating an ad. But before you go into creating an ad, what you're going to want to do, number one, is actually switch into expert mode. So you're going to go to tools and settings here, and I'm just going to pop up a little image so that you can see what this looks like. You're gonna go to tools and settings, and then this is gonna pop up and you'll just click switch to expert mode, and that's gonna give you all of the features that you need. If you're creating a new account, it's gonna look a bit different than this. Your first ad, it's actually gonna walk you through the process step by step like I'm gonna show you here. So if you already have an ad account set up, you're gonna go to wherever you wanna be in this platform. You can go to all campaigns. And then you're going to click this little plus here. You're going to go to overview, and then you're going to go to a new campaign. So basically, if you click on new campaign, we're going to set up a brand new campaign here, and I'm going to walk you through these steps. So new campaign. Now, what you're going to want to do is, by the way, later in this video series, I'm going to talk to you about setting up your website properly for Google Ads. But right now, what you're going to want to do is set up this with the objective of leads. So this is basically saying, what is your objective? Do you want to generate just website traffic? Do you want to generate leads? Or are you trying to sell a product? We're not trying to sell a physical product. That's more for e-commerce. We just want to generate leads. So you're going to select leads here. The campaign type, there's a variety of different ones that you can do. For example, video would be to create YouTube ads, or ads in the middle of videos in Google's display network. You can do Google's display network, which is those ads that pop up all over the internet. And there's a number of things you can do, like on shopping sites. You know how like when you Google something, like shopping ads pop up at the top, that's what shopping would be. For the purposes of this, we're gonna type in, or we're gonna select search. Now remember, I explained this before. If you haven't seen that video, why search ads generate the best quality leads, because people have to actively go into the search engine and type in what they're looking for, and then you put an ad in front of them that's exactly what they're looking for. So there's a lot of continuity between what they're looking for and what you're giving them, and it creates a lot of intention behind these leads because they actively went into a search engine and actually searched for these leads to begin with. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to actually select our visit is our goal is website visits here. So I can go to, say, my site here. Let me just do whatever, MLS.com, and then go continue. Now, our goal is leads, and we're going to be using the search network, right? So you can do your campaign name, could be like just buyer, for example, could be your campaign, or you could do like generic, let's just do buyer search. How about that? Now, what you're going to want to do is actually deselect the display network down here in the networks. So if you keep display network active, which a lot of people do, your ad will show up all over the display networks. But I want you guys to keep this concise and keep it just in the search, because you only want your ad popping up in the Google search. Then we're going to go down and we're going to target our audiences. Now, I'm not going to spend a ton of time here, but basically you can select all the areas that you want to target people in, and you get a couple options here. So the first one is, do you want to target just people who are inside that location? Or do you want to target people inside that location and people outside of that location, but searching in your location? So I'll show you how I might do this. I would put people in or people who show interest in your targeted recommendation, which means if someone's in a city a little bit outside of yours, but they're searching for real estate in your city, we want to get your ad in front of those people too. So you can exclude only people in your excluded locations, and I'll show you how to exclude different areas. Like for us in Canada, for example, I might want to include all of the areas in my province and the province next door, but I might exclude the US, for example, might be a good example. Because I don't want necessarily everyone in the US that searches for properties here, like I don't want to necessarily show my ad to them. I think it's more likely that I'd find someone nearby that's going to move that's just not in my immediate vicinity. So anyways, next for audiences. Now I've used these in ad sets before, so these are actually going to pop up automatically for me, but you guys can search for these yourselves. Now audiences are really interesting on Google Ads because Google knows what its users are doing on a regular basis, okay? So you can actually select what's called in-market audiences, and I would just select all these ones I've recently selected. You guys can copy these, but basically it's residential properties for sale, apartments, new houses, houses for sale. So what Google has is a database of people that have recently searched for this stuff online, and they'll make more of an effort to show your ads to those people when they're actually searching on Google. So you can use those in-market audiences if you wish. Okay, now that's basically all you want to do there. Budget and bidding, you can set your budget for however much you want to spend. It's a daily budget. Sometimes your budget's going to go over or under on any given day. But what Google does is at the end of the month, they want to average you out to about whatever you set here every single day. So we spend $300, $400, $500 a month on pay-per-click for our real estate business. We spend like $300, $400 a day on other types of ads for our online course business and some other things we work on. But basically for you guys, what I would recommend is if you really follow my system step by step, you can get sub $3 leads. It just really depends on your market. I'd say a safe bet is $3 to $6 leads. If you're in that range, you're in a good place. We have got our lead cost down to like $2, but we've done some creative stuff along the way, which I'll give you some insights to as part of this video series. Anyways, so if you want to check out the next video, I'll show you at the end of this, but let's just get through actually setting up this ad first. So basically what you're going to want to do is set your budget. So you can start at like $5 a day and then scale up slowly. But what you're going to want to do is you want to focus on conversions. Now this is really what you want to make sure that you're doing, because I'm going to show you in this video series how to actually set up your conversions with Google properly so that Google will track within Google's analytics dashboard when someone clicks on your ad, goes to your website and signs up as a lead, so that you can get proper metrics as to how effective your ads are being. So if you look right here, you'll see that basically it tells us like how much our cost per lead is, how many leads we got, and it's very clear, the data, and it's all in one place. So I wouldn't set a target cost per action. I would uncheck that. You just use maximize conversions. As long as Google understands what a conversion is, which I'm going to show you how to set up in the next video, then it will understand that and it will optimize for leads. By understanding that that's exactly what you're after, the algorithm can help you achieve that goal. So bidding, you want to optimize for maximizing conversions. Now there's ad extensions here, which I'm not going to get to in this part of the series. I will get to that later, but extensions are basically, like if I just go to Google here and I search for foreclosures for sale in Vancouver, our ad is the first to pop up that you'll see here. So it says Vancouver foreclosures, bank-owned properties. Site-like extensions are these 3 extensions at the bottom. So these are for, our main ad is for our main city, which is Vancouver. And then at the bottom, it says Burnaby, Vancouver, and Coquitlam. So those are like other areas that people can click on, and it'll take them to foreclosure listings in that specific area, if that makes sense. So those are what extensions are. And you can do call out and price extensions too, but I'm gonna set those up after we've set up the fundamentals of our ad. So then I'm gonna hit save and continue. So yeah, campaign name with this name already exists, so let's do buyer search 2. Thanks, Google. So we'll hit continue there. Clearly I've done this before. Okay, so now you're gonna select your ad group. Now, for my ad group, I might do, let's say Vancouver as my main city, okay? Now, what I'm gonna do here is I have a lot of this pre-done, but say you were in Orange County, for example, you can just put in things like this. So basically with keywords, now we're gonna enter basically our keywords here. So what you can do is just type in your city and then real estate, so whatever that might be. So let me just start over. So they did Vancouver real estate, right? Okay, boom. Now you could do, over here, you could put in Vancouver real estate for sale, and it will actually populate recommendations. So you could do Vancouver Canada homes for sale, townhouse for sale Vancouver, buy house Vancouver, Vancouver homes. All of this kind of stuff you can add. You just click it and it'll add it over on the left, as you can see. Now, what I like to really do is keep the name of the place that you're trying to advertise in the keyword. This is a very important point. If you just put like MLS listings, for example, as a keyword, then you're gonna get a whole bunch of wacky searches that are triggered by MLS listings. Now, I have to break down for everyone how basically the keyword matching system works on Google. So there's really 3 types of keyword matching. There's exact match, phrase match, and broad match, okay? Now, basically what you're gonna wanna do is use a combination of broad match and phrase match, depending on your market. Now, exact match basically means if someone types in, if I only put Vancouver real estate in here and I use exact match, my ad will only show up when someone exactly searches Vancouver real estate. If I do phrase match, which means how you do phrase match is you put quotations around the word, Vancouver real estate, that will be phrase match. So you can see here, basically, when you put quotes around it, it's phrase match. When you put nothing around it, it's broad match. And when you put the brackets around it, it's exact match. So if I put Vancouver real estate as phrase match, it will match when someone searches real estate in Vancouver, Vancouver real estate, maybe for sale, maybe real estate in Vancouver, BC. Like they can search a number of things related to Vancouver real estate and your ad will show up. If you do broad match for Vancouver real estate, it will do a whole variety of things that are loosely related to Vancouver real estate. Vancouver real estate news, Vancouver real estate whatever, Vancouver real estate market update, which are not necessarily keywords you want to rank under. So what I would recommend is use phrase match for keywords like this, Vancouver real estate. And then you can use broad match for some, if you wanted to do Vancouver real estate for sale, or Vancouver, geez, I can't type here, Vancouver real estate MLS listings, for example. So you could do broad match keywords like this, okay? Now I have this in here already that you can just kind of use, but basically you can do like Orange County real estate for sale, and you could even do Orange County real estate for sale as a broad match and Orange County real estate as a phrase match. But there's an auditing process that I'm going to show you in this video series of how to do this well. But use this as a structure. You generally want to have the neighborhood or city of the area that you're in. Basically, like, you want to have that in there so you avoid, if you don't do that and you do broad match and you just do MLS listings, you're going to get like MLS listing Chicago from someone searching in Vancouver for listings in Chicago where you don't serve at all. So it just doesn't make sense for you to pay for your ad to show up, right? Because people will click on it mistakenly and you'll end up paying per click. So I hope that makes sense, but basically you want to put in your keywords in here. So I could literally just do one keyword to keep this simple. I could do Vancouver real estate for sale and use that as broad match, and that could be my one keyword to start out with. You'd probably want to do like Vancouver condos for sale, Vancouver MLS listings, Vancouver, like that kind of stuff. You can leave that stuff as broad match. If you want to do Vancouver real estate, do it under phrase match. Now, that's what I'm going to do for my one ad group, which I'm going to call Vancouver because that's the area I want to focus on. But you can see in here, it'll suggest you other keywords as well. So now I'm going to go save and continue. Once you've entered your phrase match, and now we're actually going to build our ad. So what Google wants us to do is build 2 ads. One is going to be a text ad, and one is going to be a responsive search ad. So 2 are going to be text ads, sorry. So text ads are pretty much static. They're always going to be the same. So you're going to want to essentially, like, you know, how do I say this? Like, make them the most popular looking headlines you can make them. So now we're going to actually start building our ads. So this is literally what your ads are going to look like when they pop up in Google. So we're basically formatting them like you see in this ad that I have at the top here where it says ad. We're basically building all of this stuff. So what are our headlines? You know, what does the description look like? And then again, the site link extensions will be in the next video. So basically what you're going to want to do is put in your final URL here. So your URL is going to be where you want people to go. Now I'm going to have another video on how to optimize your site and what basically pages you should go to, but wherever they go, they should have something to click on right away that's going to force them for their information so that they can become a lead. So in this case, it might be our website /search/Vancouver. So my headline would look something like this. I'm just going to give you guys some examples, but I would totally encourage you to use your creativity here. There's no like exact science to this, but there is like a bit of a formula you want to follow. So you want to make it really obvious what it is. So I like to put Vancouver property search, live MLS feed, updated listings. So I think that's pretty clickable, and that's a lot of what we use. So in this one, it says Vancouver foreclosures, bank-owned properties. That's a dynamically generated headline, which we'll do in our responsive search ad. In our text ad, they're always going to look the same. So for these first 2 text ads that you create, whatever order you put them in here, that's the order they're going to show up in, just like you see on the right-hand side, okay? With the responsive ad, those are actually all going to change back and forth, and it's going to test and try to find the best combination of headlines. So in the display path, I would put something relevant to their search. So search Vancouver. So in this search with our keywords, we're just using Vancouver keywords. So we want to keep our ad, our main part of our ad, we want to keep everything like with some continuity. So if you're just going to put in Vancouver keywords, then you want to have your ad just say Vancouver property search. You want to have the URL say search Vancouver, that kind of stuff. Now your display path can look different than the actual URL. Your actual URL could be super, super long, and your display path can be really, really simple. So a lot of times on a website, your search URL is going to be long. Like you see the one up here, how long this is. Your search URL might look like that. That's okay. You can make your display URL look really simple. Then in the description, you're basically gonna, I have a structure I use here for students of our course. So I'll just put in some of this stuff so you can kind of get a sample. But basically like live MLS feed, update every 5 minutes with automatic new listing notifications, 100% free sign up, get live real estate stats, track your listings in your area, that kind of stuff. So that's really it. Now I have my text ad, and I could make my second text ad just a different version of this. Okay, so you could just do different descriptions, different headlines, and that'll be your ad, your first text ad, and then it'll opt in to create your second text ad here, but I'm just gonna skip over this and then go into our responsive search ad, because I want you to see what this looks like. So basically with responsive, you can add as many headlines, you can add a bunch of different headlines, right? So what I'll do here is I'll just put in essentially what I have. So if I do something like this, so basically what you're going to want to do is you put in a ton of different headlines, and it's going to automatically generate different combinations of those headlines. So look on the right here, see how this is changing? It's using different combinations all the time, and it's going to start testing them and see which ones perform best, okay? So you're going to want to give it enough headlines that it can test effectively. Just some of the things I use, like save your search criteria. I really like this one, which is 14,682 homes for sale. I think that's quite cool. So yeah, you can experiment with this on your own, but make sure you give it a decent amount of headlines, because your responsive search ad is going to be the one that actually shows to people the most often. And then the descriptions will stay the same, but you can also add 2 more descriptions in here. So if I wanted to do that, I could do this, and those will actually rotate through as well. That's basically building your ads, everyone. You'll see the ad strength is good here, so that's a good sign. Now, basically, this isn't a real URL yet, but you would put in, again, whatever URL you want this to actually go to. And if you're doing like an ad for like a different city around your main city, you would want to change that URL to match whatever your ad says. So it's important that whatever your ad says, that's exactly what the people are getting, okay? So then I'm going to go save and continue, and then I've basically set up my first ad. So live MLS feed, this is just giving me an error because I didn't fully finish that, but anyways, what else does it want me to do? Syntax is invalid, so that's because I have the city in here, Vancouver, Vancouver. Okay, now save and continue. Bada bing, bada boom, we are done. So final URL must start with HTTPS. Thank you. So there we go. Now I've fixed all the little errors. You guys are probably going to run into that. Little things like you didn't put HTTPS, or like you have like a bracket somewhere or something like that, which it doesn't allow. So you just want to go back and fix those. And then your ad is literally set up and ready to rock. Now I'm actually going to go in and see this buyer search 2 ad group I have here. I'm just going to go in and pause this because I don't actually want to run this ad. I'm just doing it as a demonstration. But that's really how you set up your first ad. You set up 2 text ads, which are static and always the same. You set up 1 responsive search ad, which is always going to change around your headlines. And the headlines will change depending on what you search for. So if I put something like bank-owned homes for sale, Vancouver, BC, you'll notice that in this ad, when my ad pops up, it's actually different. So I typed in something different, and now down at the bottom it says Greater Vancouver Foreclosures, Vancouver Foreclosures. So you'll see that the headlines change. But you'll notice in here that my URL says ybearcubs.com/foreclosures/Vancouver. So you want to make sure that people see the URL and they see exactly what they want to see. And then when they click on this ad, they get exactly what they want to get. So I'm just going to click on this ad to show you as an example where this goes, but it goes to search Vancouver foreclosures. There's a big image of foreclosures for sale, and then it says newest Vancouver foreclosure listings, and it has all the newest foreclosure listings in the city. So like, you get the idea. Basically, like, people click on the ad, and wherever they go to, then they should get exactly what you promised them. If they don't, they're gonna leave right away, and you're gonna get what's called a bounce rate. And that's when Google tracks when people go to your website and then they leave right away, and that actually really hurts you. They actually decrease your ad performance and show your ad to less people if that happens a lot, because it's telling Google that their users on Google are clicking on your ad and they're not getting what they want, and it's giving you a bad quality score, a bad relevancy score, and it's and a high bounce rate is what it's called. So that's something you really don't want to happen. So anyway, that's how you set up your first buyer search ad. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to add site link extensions. And the next video series, part of the series, are going to be a little bit shorter than this one. And we're going to go into how to add site link extensions, how to optimize your keywords, and take you through the whole process of setting up your ads, to optimizing your ads long-term, to managing them, to get to them a point where you can essentially spend like less than an hour a month managing your Google ad. All right, everybody, that wraps up this video. As always, leave a comment if you have any questions or you just want to say what's up. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed this content and you want more as it comes. If you want to learn a lot more about this subject, you can check out our lead generation webinar down in the comments. Be sure to register for that. We deliver a ton of value in that webinar, and at the end, we will talk about our paid program, Lead Generation Mastery. If you want to get involved with that, that's the place to do it. If you're a real estate agent, down in the description, you'll find a link to our Facebook group, Real Estate Marketing Mastery. Be sure to join up, check it out. It's a place where we mastermind on all things related to real estate marketing. So that's all I got for today. I'll talk to you all very soon.